Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Faisal Mohammed, the Director of the Department of Science and Innovation, National Research Foundation, Center of Excellence in Mathematical and Statistical Sciences. It is indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to welcome all of you, our nodes, media partners, affiliates, postgrads, and postdoc students, as well as sponsors, to mark this important occasion, the celebration of our 8th birthday. Yes, the center is 8 years old. For me, that's quite quickly. And our CoE-MaSS team has worked very hard to enable us to celebrate this event. A very warm applause to all of them. They've done splendidly in a short span of time. The center was inaugurated on the 1st of April 2014 out of a competitive bid through the then Department of Science Technology NRF call in the year 2013. The DSI NRF CoE-MaSS was established as a major research network in South Africa with extensive footprint in the mathematical sciences. The proposal for the center was put together by the host WITS and three founding nodes, UP, UKZN, and Northwest. Our main purpose of existence was to integrate areas of research in mathematical sciences in a democratic South Africa into a larger mass program. Also, it was necessary to retain, sustain, and improve existing research in the mass fields and increase interdisciplinary research, as well as foster collaboration nationally and internationally at the highest level to boost human capacity development and develop a knowledge-based economy further. And mathematical sciences underpins science, engineering, and technology. That is what is called SET, and is critical to South Africa's national system of innovation. The center was formed to serve all South African institutions, and we try to reach out to all. Remember also that the year that we put the proposal, it was 2013, was the year of mathematics. The main research theme was mathematics of earth and environment, which we utilized. The sub-themes were two: mathematical paradigms and modeling was the other one. So one was the theoretical aspect and the application aspects. After its inception, the center grew significantly in a short space of time to include our collaborating partners, 16 in all. In September 2016, after stakeholder meetings with node institutions, the 9 existing themes were re-engineered into 11 focus areas. This was important because we've extended from the founding nodes to more institutions. These focus areas were enacted in early to mid 2017. Then after our 5-year review, we included a 12th focus area, graph theory. That was missing in our initial proposal within our first 5 years. The center grew quite significantly and now has 29 partners in all. That's made up of nodes and also subsidiary partners. In fact, only a few higher education institutions are missing in the center, namely there are 5. The question is, where do we go from here? The center wishes to continue to serve you. I've seen a lot of the remarks made by students and postgrads, and of course also node members and leaders. We wish to continue to serve you and wish that you support the center when it reaches its 10 years. And also to go on further. Also, it's important that the footprints we leave in mathematical sciences remain for future generations to come. Each one of us needs to be able to show ourselves as mathematical scientists to our community by means of our talks that easily relay what we are about, such as popular talks, historical surveys, contributions of mathematics to the world around us, etc. You can see in the focus areas we are doing that. Each one of us is participating, we're involved in science communication. We need to further this in our own communities and make sure that we leave our footprints. For the center to have a legacy, each one of you need to have your mathematical footprints transparent and seen well into the future. This is for our own sake. Even if the center doesn't exist, we need to leave so that the future generations benefit. And it's exciting that we have this birthday and we have a program for you today. And again, I'd like to welcome all of you, and I hope you have a great day today. And thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that welcome address, Prof. Mohammed. Going forward, I'd like to call up 3 speakers to share their experiences that they have had in their work with the Center over the last 8 years. They are from various institutions. As you're well aware, the Center is a multi-university collaborative program. And whilst it might be administratively hosted at WITS, we are really proud of our achievement to be so inclusive to involve almost all of the South African higher education institutions in the country. To call on Professor Louis Labuskaghni from Northwest University to give us some insights as to his experience with the Center, considering he has been involved in the Center since its inception, and actually before that, in terms of involved in writing the original proposal that was submitted through to the DSI and NRF all those years ago. Professor Labuskaghni, over to you.
Thank you, Kaz. Okay. Now, of course, the support and forum that the Center of Excellence presents has been very important to us. Over the past 8 years, we've had a few lean years. We also had a few very fruitful years as far as applying for our students, applying for fellowships and bursaries are concerned. And these bursaries have actually helped us to train many postgraduate students that might not otherwise have been able to complete their studies. So that has been a very valuable contribution to mathematics. But I think for me, the most valuable contribution of the Center of Excellence has been to demonstrate the value and importance of working together as a team to develop research and develop mathematics. So I think what the Center of Excellence has shown us is that if you get together with a holistic perspective and you do clear, carefully thought out planning for the future, you can achieve a lot, you can move mountains. So I think that is a challenge to everybody out there at whatever institution, whatever sort of academic institution you happen to find yourself, to get yourself organized, to follow the example set by the Center of Excellence, and at a local level, you know, get the mathematicians organized, get them all to work together to plan for the future, not to develop, to build your own little empire, but with a holistic perspective to improve the lot of mathematics as a whole. because it is as we work as a team that we will be able to achieve more and also lobby much more effectively. And whether it's directly or indirectly at Northwest, we have already followed the example of the Center of Excellence by founding a research entity focusing on the mathematical sciences. That has been going for about 2 years now. And I think the success of the Center of Excellence in a large part contributed to sort of encouraging us and inspiring us to go ahead with this effort. That's all from me, Kaz. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Labuschagne, for those words. We're very fortunate to hear and to have like-minded scholars based at Northwest University who have really taken on the involvement within the center. So with really dived in with both hands and utilized that platform to advance your research at Northwest. So we're really thankful for Northwest's involvement. And without further ado, I'd like to then call up in person Professor Jean Lebouma to please also contribute an address. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much, Kaz, for the opportunity. Maybe I should start from, I should give some historical background about this Center of Excellence. And this goes back to 2008. The NRF and the Department of Science and Technology at that time, now DSI, they commissioned a study which was conducted by international panel to review the situation of mathematical sciences in South Africa. And that study, the conclusion of that study was that mathematical sciences is in crisis in South Africa. And that crisis was described in several ways. For example, mathematical sciences in this country, as far as the conclusion of that study are concerned, mathematicians suffer seriously about isolation. Isolation in their discipline. You will see situations where in a given university, in a given department, there is only one person who is expert in differential geometry, for example. So isolation in terms of the discipline. Isolation geographically. Even people who are here in Johannesburg compare to those who are in Pretoria, there is still some isolation. So isolation geographically. So there are many isolation in several ways. Isolation from overseas. You can't attend conferences. The other point which was The other finding of that study was that the researchers, many researchers in mathematics, many academics, they are approaching retirement age. So when you look at the percentage of people who are retiring compared to those who will still serve, the balance, the number of people who were retiring was by far large. And another consideration was that there is a lack of manpower. There is a shortage of mathematicians, mathematical scientists in the country. And the last one is that, you see, retirement, this is exit, this is output, but there is no input. So our children, they're not interested in studying mathematical sciences. And as a response to that, one of the response to that crisis which I described, one of the responses was the creation, the establishment of the Center of Excellence in mathematical sciences and in mathematics and statistics. Now, the question, of course, is, has the center addressed those challenges? I think yes. I think yes, that the center has done extremely well in terms of addressing those challenges. For example, in terms of isolation due to the distance. I think that the center has brought people together. And this is demonstrated also by the fact that is what the director was saying, that the center has grown in terms of the number of partners. The center has also achieved a lot in terms of training, trying to change, if I can say it like that, the mindset of South African people to do mathematics, to undertake studies in mathematics. And that is why when I was looking at the figures, the statistics which you sent to me, there is a substantial number of honor students, master students, PhD students, postdoctoral fellows, which have been founded through the center. So something is happening there. Of course, there is still a challenge because since the funding of the center comes mainly from the NRF, so there is always this requirement or this constraint in terms of having a balance in the selection of South African citizens compared to non-South African citizens. So there is always that dilemma. In general, I think that at present, the ratio is that you should have 80% of the student to be funded should be South African, and 20% I think is can be foreigners. But you see, is it as this, what is the figure now? 95, that's good. It is even worse. But you see, the problem with us in mathematical sciences, we don't attract many students. So that balance is a problem. If you have only one, what will be 90% of one? What would be, so you see, it is really a problem, and that needs to be addressed. So I think that the center has done extremely well the number of postgraduate, postdoctoral fellows also, because postdoctoral fellows, this is a good investment. And the center has done extremely well in that regard. Just saying a word about the University of Pretoria, where I was when the center was created. In fact, we participated in the writing of the proposal. So the University of Pretoria has extensively benefited from the center. The other thing which maybe I should also say, the center was created almost at the same time when there are a number of SASU chairs which were approved by the National Research Foundation. And those SASU chairs, one of them is, three of them are at the University of Pretoria. They are strongly embedded and involved in the activities of the center, which is a good thing. There is another SASU chair, I think it is at the University of Stellenbosch, and they are also embedded in the activities of the center. The other thing which maybe I should mention in terms of the center being a response to the finding which were made by the study I mentioned earlier, is that there has been quite a number of activities, events like workshop, conferences, which are organized in the sphere of mathematical sciences. And the center has always supported these activities, which is very good. And you know, workshop, conferences, this is an opportunity to bring people from Venda, from Zululand, from wherever, to sit together and continue and do mathematics. And I must say also that technology has made the life of collaboration between mathematicians, between mathematical scientists, has made it very, very easy, very possible. And there also, I think that the center has resources to have activities conducted virtually, as we doing now. Well, at least not me, as other speakers are doing. But I must also say that COVID has been also a crisis, has been a challenge to the center. And I hope that now that most of the measures, the protocol for the COVID has been, most of the restrictions have been eased. I hope that the center will come back to normal life, namely having activities face-to-face, because face-to-face, it is, we are in mathematical sciences, we would like always to make a bijection between the face and whatever is happening. And that in the setting of technology, that was not always easy. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate Professor Faisal Mohammed, the director of the center, for the work which has been done. And I would like also maybe to mention the name of Ibrahim Momoniak. He played a big role in the writing of the proposal. And I hope that the fact he is not here now is not a continuation of the isolation which I was talking about, because it's just next door here. So maybe he's not in the country at present. I think that's what I can say. The center has done extremely well. Now I'm at VETS. I used to be at the University of Pretoria. So it will be a new chapter, a new beginning in my life, in my association with the center, since I'm now one floor above the location of the center. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Labuma. I think your address has given us a really nice overview of why the center was created and the kinds of activities that we've taken part in until now. It's interesting that you mentioned the International Review of 2008, because another one of the findings of that review was that the discipline of statistics was in crisis in terms of a lack of PhD supervisory capacity. And that is really something that the CoE-MaSS has really tried to assist and focus on, is developing the field of statistics as well. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to a PhD statistician, Professor Delia North, who is also the Dean and Head of the School of Math, Stats and ComSci at UKZN. Thank you very much, Prof. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Kaz. Yeah, I was sent the statistics for our school, the recipients, and I don't know whether and they asked me to say a few words about that. Is that what you're wanting me to do, or to speak in general about statistics? Sorry, I'm just checking.
Just with regard to UKZN's involvement in the centre?
Sure. Yes, I will do so. Good morning, everybody. As Dean and Head of School of the School of Mathematics, Statistics and Computer Science at UKZN, it's an extreme honor to be here, and I'm most grateful that our school is one of the many schools that are receiving generous funding from the centre. And I really wish to express my sincere appreciation to the DSI NRF Centre of Excellence in Mathematical and Statistical Sciences for the generous funding of our postgraduate students. UKZN students have benefited richly from funding received from the centre for the past 8 years, starting way back in 2014, when 8 mathematics master students and 3 PhD students in mathematics received a funding total, which was a lot back then, but it was 135,000 for the master students and 75,000, for the master students and 75,000 for the 3 PhD students. We were so grateful back then as a school for the sponsorship, as these postgrad students could not have registered without this funding. But we had no idea back then how much the sponsorship would grow over the next 8 years. Each year since then, our masters and PhD students in mathematics and statistics and our postdoc students have benefited greatly. 2015, the first postdoc was funded, and since then, it's just grown and grown. UKZN postgrad programs in statistics and mathematics are flourishing, primarily due to generous funding that we have received. We had, for example, the Centre of Excellence funding we received peaked in 2019 when we had 1 master's student funded by the Centre of Excellence. It was actually a Black female, very rare commodity in mathematics. And then 12 PhD students that year and a postdoc received funding in 2019 to a total value of R1 million came from the Centre of Excellence to UKZN. Really, we appreciate that so much, because it's put these young people on a path that would never have been possible if we didn't receive this funding. A similar total sponsorship was received when UKZN PhD students and postdocs received a combined amount again of just over R1 million from the Centre of Excellence last year. So I can only say the UKZN programs have greatly benefited, both in statistics and mathematics, from the funding received from the centre over the last 8 years. But what's most noteworthy is that these 2 disciplines, mathematics and statistics, are scarce skills, and not just at UKZN, nationally, internationally. And the funding received has just put the disciplines on another level. and on another platform. UKZN will continue to reap the benefits of the boost that the funds that we've received have given the disciplines. We're most grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Prof. We really appreciate the involvement of UKZN within the program. And we'll mention a little bit more about that in the next section. Next slide. So something that we can't forget when we are having a birthday celebration and a bit of a party is that everybody needs to get some gifts and some prizes and some awards. It's really important for us as the center that we celebrate the people within our network who are doing really good research and who are really getting involved in science communication and getting their research out to beyond just the academic research realm. So with that in mind, the center has now started some annual awards. And in the first few initial years of the center, this wouldn't have been possible because we were really still at a position where we were growing our cohort and our pipeline. But now that we are 8 years old, we are quite well established and we have a very vast network across the country. And as such, we would like to recognize in terms of publication outputs and also for our postgraduate students and postdoctoral fellows, those who have done well in the science communication sphere, which, as you know, more and more is a requirement from a lot of funders, both national and international, to show the value of your research and the scientific impact beyond just the academic community of publishing in an academic journal, as was traditionally the case. So our first award, I'm going to ask my colleague, Diane DeVeco, to please come up and assist me. And she will just be handing out our token checks for these awards. Our first award, we are very happy to announce, goes to Olawale Kazim Oyewole, who is from UKZN. In the course of last year, he published the highest number of publications in the focus area of operator algebras and functional analysis. And hopefully you can all see the check that Diane is holding up. So just to confirm, so this is a research grant award that will be given. The value is 10,000 Rand. So we would like to congratulate the student. This will be in the form of a research grant, so it will go to the institution and will be for research-related expenditure. And this will be an opportunity for the student to then identify potential training or potential conferences that they might want to attend and present at. So this is really giving them a small research grant nest egg to start off with and further develop their very flourishing academic career. Our second award is one of 2 postdoctoral fellow publication awards for 2021. I can't stress more how fantastic these 2 postdocs have really been in terms of their publication record. One has produced 15 publications in the course of last year, and 116. So to just, say how overwhelmed we are as the center that they have been doing such good work over a period through the COVID pandemic, which has really been quite challenging for a lot of our circumstances in the way that we conduct our research. We would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Hamed Abbas. And in addition, our next recipient, also from UKZN, is Dr. Akindele Mebawondu. Both of these recipients will be each receiving a 10,000 Rand research grant from the center. for them to use similarly for training and research related activities, so that they may then further their postdoctoral research that they are currently undertaking. Both are working in operator algebras and functional analysis, and both of them are based at UKZN. So we'd like to congratulate both of them. If either of you are on the call and would like to share your video and say anything in response, you are very welcome to at this point.
I want to use the opportunity to say a big thank you to CoE-MaSS, and congratulations on the birthday, just like you are celebrating today. It's an honor to be a part of CoE. I'm overwhelmed now because I really can put words together well, I just want to say a big thank you to the organizers and to CoE and NRF as a whole. Thank you very much. You have been wonderful.
Dr. Mebawandu, are you there? Would you like to add anything at this point?
I would like to just, okay, firstly, good morning, everyone. I really want to appreciate the center. It's just because of God and them, and sincerely, I want to thank my supervisor, Professor Pile, and Dr. Narine, for giving me the liberty to do what I think is right. I really want to appreciate everyone. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mebawandu, and congratulations again to all of our 3 recipients thus far. With that, we would also like to add one additional award, and this is for the institution that has produced the highest number of publications within the center. As you know, we do report to the NRF, and that ultimately is reported to the DSI and ultimately to Parliament in terms of the number of publication outputs that we generate. And with this, we would like to recognize the institution that has been publishing the highest number of publications per annum. And I'm sure, as you probably would have guessed by doing a quick quantity analysis of who the prize winners have been to date, we are very happy to make an award of 20,000 Rand to the University of KwaZulu-Natal in recognition of their high publication numbers that they have been generating. Professor North, we would like to hand this funding over to UKZN for you to utilize for the development of your researchers within UKZN, so that they may take part in the likes of research retreats or academic writing workshops for the benefit of the maths and stats community at UKZN.
Thank you very much. That is extremely generous, and I'm absolutely delighted with the news. I didn't know beforehand, and I think from the few words I said, it's very likely that most of the funding went to UKZN as well. So I'm extremely happy to know that it that it resulted in most of the papers coming out where most of the money went in. From our quick overview, I'm sure that is true. We're extremely grateful, and all I can say is congratulations to our young stars that you have just highlighted. They obviously contributed, and not only to the students, the postgrad students, the postdocs, the PhD students, but of course to the staff, possibly that have assisted, been part of the writing and the supervision. Honestly, as a university and as a school, we're extremely proud of our postdocs, our postgrad students, and their supervisors. Well done, guys and ladies.
Thank you, Prof. North, for that. We have 2 science communication awards that we would like to issue to 2 people who have really been actively involved in communicating their research to beyond the academic realm in terms of publications. They have gotten involved in international science communication competitions. They have been on radio talking about their research for the layman to understand, for people who are not subject specialists in mathematics and statistics. And all of these activities are really important in terms of showcasing the maths endeavors, and also to instill an idea and a love of what mathematics and statistics can do in the next generation of people who might be listening to that radio broadcast or watching that YouTube clip where they've published their research. So without further ado, I'd like to announce the first Scicomm Engagement Award winner. And this goes to Esmery Mare from Stellenbosch University. She took part last year in the FameLab International Science Communication Competition. And she was our highest ranking CoE-MaSS member who competed in the regional heats. So we would like to congratulate Esmery. And we also have a Science Communication Engagement Award for her to the value of 5,000 Rand, which she is then able to utilize either for further Scicomm related activities or for research related activities. The last prize winner that we would like to announce today is to Shavara Hansraj. Shavara is one of our postdoctoral students. She was funded through the center for her PhD studies. And she is to be featured in the next, for those of you who don't know who SASTA is, it's the South African Agency for the Advancement of Science and Technology. Shavara will be featured in the next SASTA Set Careers booklet, highlighting science, engineering, and technology careers. She has also been involved in the highest number of science communication engagements in the center and has taken part in lots of other activities like appearing on Lotus FM radio to talk about her research. Shavara is based at UKZN. And Shavara, if you are with us on the call, if you would like to say anything at this point in time, we have a 5,000 Rand science communication grant available for you. As an award for your good work in the science communication area.
I'd like to say thank you so much to the CoE-MaSS for this award, and they've played such a huge role in my career as an academic, making me confident to speak about my research and explain it to people, make it sound interesting, because it is, and that's really important. And I'm sure it's going to play a similar role in many future academics, and that's really important. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Shavara, for all the good Scicomm work you have been doing. We really appreciate you being a part of our center. And then, colleagues, last but not least, and this is really important, is we have some certificates of recognition to hand out. Now, not all of those people are here today. In fact, only one of them is present with us in person today. So the other people are being recognized, but they will receive their certificates via a digital copy as well as a hard copy sent to them via post. But we would like to take this opportunity to say a very big thank you to those people who have been working tirelessly and voluntarily behind the scenes at the CoE-MaSS. In terms of their roles as CoE-MaSS node leaders, so each of our 20-odd partner nodes has a designated node leader who is appointed by their DVC research to be the point of contact, and normally they are one of the academics working in the maths and stats field. They really help and assist us in terms of disseminating information to our various stakeholders, and to also being that point of contact within each institution, so that if students have queries about the center, they have an on-site point of contact that they can speak to. In addition to that, we have some really important people. There are 24 of them, and they are what we call our FACs and our JFACs. These are our focus area coordinators and our junior focus area coordinators. We have one of each in each of our 12 focus areas that the center supports. And these people also provide a coordinating function to all of those focus areas. And we really appreciate the time and effort that they take out of their already busy lives to contribute to the center in this way. So we have a certificate of recognition for Prof. David Mason, who is here in the venue with us. And that is for his role as the focus area coordinator for the mathematics in industry focus area that the CoE runs. So thank you very much, Prof. And thank you to all of the FACS, JFACS, and Node leaders who aren't here with us in person today, but your certificates will be arriving with you shortly. We really do appreciate all the time and effort that goes into the work that you do. And we are aware that often what happens is when you want something done, you give it to an already busy person to get done. And that is definitely the case with our FACS and JFACS. So we really do appreciate you. And we would like to say a very big thank you. Without you, the center couldn't function in the way that it does. Last but not least, I would like to then please invite up Professor Martin Ntwa-Borwa, who is our Assistant Dean for Research and Innovation in the Faculty of Science at WITS. And I'd like to invite Prof up to then make some closing remarks for today's session. Thank you very much, Prof, for being here today and for the closing remarks that are to follow.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank the entire organizing committee for the honor of attaching my name to this important event of celebrating the 8th anniversary of the center. So I'm going to be short in my closing remarks with only 2 jokes, one in the beginning and the other at the end. I am aware that, I think, and everybody's aware that today this is the 1st of April and people don't take jokes seriously. So please, my jokes are genuine, take them seriously and laugh at the end. Okay, now my first joke goes like, a woman flying in a hot air balloon got lost. She reduced in altitude and spotted a man below. She descended a bit more and shouted, "Excuse me, can you help me? I promised a friend that I would meet her an hour ago, but I don't know where I am." The man replied, "You are in a hot air balloon, hovering 30 meters above the ground. You are between 40 and 41 degrees north altitude and between 59 and 61 degrees west longitude." Then the woman replied, "You must be a mathematician or a physicist." The man said, "I am both. How did you know?" "Well," answered the woman, "everything you said is technically and precisely correct, but to me it's useless because still I don't know where I am." So ladies and gentlemen, I am a physicist who by necessity studied mathematics. So I hope that whatever I'm going to say here is you're not going to see it as useless. So It's a great opportunity. It's a great pleasure for the center to be celebrating the 8th anniversary. And I want to be honest with you, I am new in this position, so I don't know how the system works. But then I went through your recent annual progress report. And now in the report, I noted that the center is doing well. It has got a representation in almost every province with more than 15 institutions involved, 10 research themes, 12 focus areas, with a new focus area in graph theory launched last year. And last week I had a chat with the director, and he told me that the center is doing well in terms of research output and student throughput. And I think it's something that you need to take a pride in. And he also told me that the center is putting significant emphasis on education, and it is spending 1/3 of its annual budget on human capital development, which is something very good. And I've also learned that the center is actually organizing seminars in different focus areas, which is something good also. And also in terms of equity and redress, we know that maths, it's a male-dominated discipline, but the center is making efforts to recruit and train females, and it is making steady progress in terms of recruiting females, and is planning to make special calls for females. So it's something that we should really be proud of. And again, I noted that the center is planning to ring fence and allocate a large amount of its annual bursary and scholarship funding for Black South Africans and Black African researchers with a target of 95%, which is something which the DSI and the NRF should actually be proud of. Therefore, when you look at all these, it's a great achievement. And I don't want to remind the funders, DSI, NRF, and all the institutions that are involved about the importance of maths and statistics in the society. I want to send a very strong message to the funders that we shouldn't only talk about how great the center is, but we should reward it for its greatness. Now I'm coming to my last joke, to which you must also laugh. Then it goes like this. Tom and Jerry are out hunting in Minnesota, and they shoot a deer. They begin dragging the deer back to the truck by the tail, but they keep slipping and losing both their grip and their balance. Then a farmer comes along and asks them, "What are you boys doing?" They reply, "We are dragging the deer back to the truck." The farmer tells them, "You are not supposed to drag a deer by the tail. You are supposed to drag the deer by the horns. They are called antlers." Tom and Jerry say, "Thank you very much for the idea." And they move to the front and begin to pull the deer by the antlers. After about 5 minutes, they are making rapid progress. Tom says to Jerry, "Jerry, the farmer was right. It goes a lot easier by the antlers." Jerry replies, "Yep, but you are getting further and further away from the truck." Now, in life, the majority of people are pulling the easy way, but they are getting further and further from their set real goals and objectives. So when I was speaking to the director last week and asked him about the sustainability of the center, he was worried, and he said that the future is not, despite our successes, the future is not rosy. It is bleak because of lack of funding. They're not sure if they're going to continue to get funding in order to sustain the center. But what I want to tell them is that as you pull the center, pull it by the antlers and pull it in the right direction. Don't pull it away from your goals. and objectives. Just focus, just continue to do the best that you are doing, and the funds will just come automatically. Thank you very much.
Colleagues, with that ends our program for this morning. And we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you again for joining us. We really hope that we've given you a bit of a sense today of why the Centre is here and what we do and why it's really important for the development of maths and stats in South Africa. Colleagues, thank you very much for joining us. For those of you who are joining on Zoom, thank you for joining us virtually and taking the time out of your day to celebrate these successes with us. And we hope to see you all between now and our next birthday party next year for our 9th birthday. So thank you very much.